This could be it. This could be my last day alive in PvP civilization. If I don't fight with every ounce of strength I have, I'll die here without knowing if the other diamond swords made it out alive. It all comes down to this fight. If the diamond swords and I can defeat this player holding the diamond axe, we can survive. But this blindness is complicating things so much that you can't even tell who you're fighting until you're a couple blocks away.
Okay, at least you're still alive. Come on, this fight's not over yet. We need to stick together.
Julie was right. We needed to be sticking together, but it was impossible to do that when we would lose each other in a matter of seconds. In an ideal world, we should have had a plan to prepare for this, but we didn't. So for now, I have to worry about my own survival. I was running around with just 2 hearts, and 1 hit from the Eternal Axe might mean I never spawn in this world again. I don't even know how this happened. We had the Diamond Axe surrounded. He was completely cornered against 5 diamond swords. No one should have been able to get out of a situation like that, but before we knew it, he threw down a potion and we were fighting in the dark. So far, I only knew of Julie being alive, but a few seconds later, I found Minitech.
Go hide in your room while we fight this. We can't have you die.
I wanted to help the Diamond Swords fight, but it looks like Minitech had a different idea. He wants me to hide so I don't risk dying permanently and giving up the respawn power. As much as the plan makes sense, what good would me hiding in here do if the Diamond Swords can't win the fight? I just have to trust them, I guess. Wait, Wembu?
Evbo, we need to fight as a team to beat this guy.
I know, I agree. I want to fight, but Minitech told me to hide here. Wait, did he tell you that too?
No, I was just catching my breath. But we have to fight. We can't let the others die.
As much as I trusted Minitech's strategy, I had to follow Wembu on this one. I wasn't weak anymore. I could fight, and me being on the battlefield might just help my family stay alive. I thought I caught up to Wembu when I heard the sound of PvP attacks, but as I got closer, I saw Foray fighting the Diamond Axe all by himself. The Diamond Axe must have been low on health because he took off running after the exchange. But instead of pursuing him, Foray backed off and told me to group up with the other Diamond Swords. I was just about to follow him, but then I stopped. The Diamond Axe was weak, he had to be, and I was at full health. I already knew all 4 diamond swords were still alive. So if I end this right here, we all walk away from this. I chased after the diamond axe until suddenly the darkness lifted, and I just barely caught a glimpse of the axe climbing the ladder to the video journal headquarters. This player was trapped. There was nowhere for him to run. So despite Minitech and Foray telling me to back off, I wasn't gonna waste this chance. When I got to the top of the ladder, I saw the player holding the Eternal Axe, but I didn't hesitate. I knew this player was weak, and he was just trying to use the Eternal Axe to make me lose my focus. I got hit down the ladder, but managed to catch myself with 5.5 hearts left. This wasn't the time to give up now. One more hit could be the difference between life and death for my friends. I don't know why this diamond axe spared my life before, and while that question's gonna weigh on me, I can't afford the time to find the answer. I have to end this now. My friends' lives are in danger. I don't understand. Who are you?
Evbo, I wanted to apologize for not keeping my word. I told you before that I would help the swords fight extinction, and since then, all I've done is make that goal harder to achieve. So I'm not going to wait here any longer questioning whether the other diamond swords will trust me or not. I'm coming down there. But I'm bringing with me a plan to help you and the swords protect your respawn power and stay alive. There's a bow here at the iron sword level, and while fighting him, I learned that he paid a shield for information about Evbo's room at the wooden sword level. Knowing this helped me come up with a plan to protect Evbo every time he respawns. If the diamond swords don't trust me when I get down there, I'll understand. But at least I'll go back to my civilization knowing I did everything I could to help the swords survive. So, allow me to explain my plan.
You'd be surprised to see how easy it is to become friends with your enemy in PvP Civilization. I mean, it's not easy given the fact that people usually fight before they even get the chance to talk, but if you do get the chance to talk to your enemy, you start to realize that we're all just kind of the same. It doesn't matter if you're a sword, shield, bow, axe, or trident, everyone just wants to protect themselves and the people they care about. Oh, I'm not joking, I bought 5 of these. Diamond Sword got down to 61 PvP attacks, but I didn't even care.
1,500 PvP attacks in one trip is impressive, but it doesn't come close to my record of 3,000.
Oh, of course you have the record. Will you buy potions and food and stuff? Try buying stuff that actually has no value. Am I upset that my new friend Clown Pierce is a better spender than I am? Yes, a little. But it's kind of awesome having someone that just gets me, you know? Anyways, quick journal this time because Clown Pierce and I are going to the Axe Civilization. The other diamond swords are going to be very confused, but rest assured they will be safe. And that's all that really matters to me. So on that note, signing off.
Why haven't we found Evbo yet?
He's probably still in his room. I told him to hide.
I have a feeling he might not be there.
I didn't expect the Diamond Swords to understand why I was leaving the Sword Civilization with the same person we were just fighting against. I wish I could just tell them what was going on, but apparently the less people that know about this plan, the better. Julie, stop! We don't need to fight.
Evbo, what are you doing?
Clownpierce and I are going to the Axe Civilization. I promise you guys that this will all make sense soon, but just believe me that you guys are safe.
How do we know that's true? Tell us what's going on.
Julie, you told me once before that you didn't need a good reason to trust Foray, so all I'm asking is just for you to do the same with me. Do you trust me?
Yes, I do.
I'll see you guys soon, okay?
I don't understand. That diamond axe could end his life at any given moment. Why would Evbo take that risk?
Because it's not a diamond axe. It's a sword.
I hadn't seen a player with a netherite sword before. To be honest, I almost forgot a natural-born sword could become one. But why did this diamond axe have one? Where did you get that?
I was born with it. Well, I was born with a wooden one, but I worked my way up.
Had this player been holding a diamond sword, I wouldn't have believed him. After all, this was our enemy. But only a natural-born sword can become a netherite sword. So he's not lying. He's one of us. You've been a natural-born sword this entire time? Why are you fighting us?
I do apologize for that. I've been playing the role of a natural-born axe for too long. But I needed to draw you away somehow.
Okay, I don't even know what's going on anymore. My brain's gonna explode. You're one of us. You're a natural-born sword, but not just any sword, you're a netherite sword, so you have infinite durability, and you've been pretending to be a diamond axe this entire time and collecting the eternal weapons with Wait, Tabby doesn't know you're a sword.
No, she doesn't. And because of that, we pulled off the impossible of collecting all 5 eternal weapons. I expect she'll figure out who I am sooner than later. Of course, I'm hoping that our plan to save the world will help distract her from the pain.
Hearing the player known as Clownpierce say that reminded me of myself. I thought Tabby was a sword for my entire life, and Tabby spent her life thinking that Clownpierce has been an axe. Hold up, you didn't say your plan to save the world, you said our plan. You drew me away from the other diamond swords for a reason, right? I watched as Clownpierce walked over to the video journal machine. Honestly, this right here might have been the moment where Clownpierce and I became friends. I could tell right away, this guy appreciated a good video journal. So much that he incorporated video journals into his plan to save the world. Before meeting Clownpierce, I thought this machine right here was only used to make copies of all video journals that have been recorded. But apparently, this master video journal machine can be used to share video messages through any machine in the world. So, you placed a video journal machine in every civilization and you're sending a message to all of them?
We're not sending it just yet, but once we're ready, yes, all civilizations will see this.
Don't tell me you're... No way you're gonna live record this right here! Okay, if this is going to all civilizations, I have to be in this.
If you were in this, the plan wouldn't work.
No, you can't do this to me. I can't be in the most important video journal of all time.
You're just gonna have to sit back and watch this time.
After the video journal was over, Clownpierce put away his diamond axe and grabbed the video journal log. Witnessing the message Clownpierce was gonna send to all other civilizations left me speechless. First off, his performance was legendary. I mean, I was starting to doubt my own video journaling capabilities, but it was the complexity of his plan that had me at a loss for words. Clownpierce has been plotting this before I was even born into PvP Civilization, and somehow I ended up being the one he chose to help make this plan come true. So after we go to the Axe Civilization, I'm gonna be the one that comes back here and sends the message to every civilization. After that message is out in the world, well, nothing will ever be the same after that. The thing about Clownpierce's plan is I wasn't just being used as the messenger for his video journal. I was the main part of the plan. With the message he recorded for the other civilizations, I had a lot of questions about my role in saving the world. Apparently though, Clown was gonna answer all my questions, which was a relief because I am tired of not knowing anything. I thought we were going to the Axe Civilization, but Clownpierce took a detour and started running to the structure at the center of our world. I thought he was leading me back to the top of the Sword Civilization, but instead he started swimming up the waterfall. Out of all the times I've been to the center of PvP Civilization, I've never been to the top of this structure. When I made it up there, Clownpierce and I were standing there surrounded by 5 giant statues. The carvings of the eternal bow, the eternal axe, the eternal trident, and the eternal sword stood tall in each corner. And above us, completely suspended in the air, was a giant rock in the shape of the eternal shield. We were standing in the true origin of every player in PvP Civilization. Every player that's not a shield, of course, but every sword, trident, bow, or axe, they all spawn from this place. place. In fact, while Clownpierce was telling me this, we saw a newborn trident just spawn in right in front of us. But Clownpierce didn't bring me all the way up here just to show me that. I saw him standing below the statue of the broken eternal sword, and he began to tell me a story that explains everything as to why the swords face extinction and why the eternal weapons are so important in this world. It was the story of the first player in PvP Civilization. The first player was born as a sword, and they were far more skilled at any other player in PvP, so much that they were able to collect every eternal item by themselves. By then, the other civilizations were already fighting each other for survival, which is what led the original sword to use the power of the eternal weapons. Within the structure at the center of PvP Civilization, the original player hit 5 armor stands with every eternal weapon, granting them one wish. In an effort to make sure that the sword civilization lives on, the player wished for the infinite durability of the eternal sword to be shared with every natural born sword. Whoa, so that's why it's broken, right? Every natural born sword has like a little piece of the eternal sword in them.
That wish is what paved the way for the swords to ruin the world.
What do you mean ruined the world? What happened?
Can you stop putting your shield up? This is just wasting time for both of us.
If what I'm doing helps Evbo and the other swords, then it seems like there couldn't be a better use of my time.
Let's not pretend you were sticking with Evbo for any other reason than to get more PvP attacks. Despite what you might think of me, we're actually trying to save the world here.
You know, Evbo still talks about you all the time, right? You might not care at all, but to him, you're still his best friend. I remember when Evbo first saw you, and already he was bribing me for a chance just to talk to you again.
Is there a point you're getting at here? Because I'd rather not listen to this.
My point is, Evbo isn't like you, or me, or the rest of the world. Everyone in PvP Civilization just cares about themselves, but Evbo was the guy that let himself die over and over just to save you.
I wouldn't have needed saving if the swords never took my life away. I was a wooden axe when the swords invaded our civilization. I remember sitting around that campfire with all of the other wooden axes talking about how incredible life would be if we were to become diamond axes. None of us had even landed a single PvP attack on anyone in this world, yet that didn't stop the swords from wiping them all out. I wish I could have gone with them that day, but instead, I was the only one who bothered to fight back, and you know what that got me? A life of watching my friends die, over and over. The swords kept me alive, and would only return when I've made a new friend for them to take away. They left me with no choice but to attack my own people to make myself stronger, to give myself a chance to end my own suffering. The funny part is, some of those swords were already netherite swords. They didn't need to rank up their sword. They didn't need durability. They did it because they enjoyed it. You're right. Evbo might be better than both of us, but I can't forgive the swords for what they did to me.
Clownpierce spent the next few minutes explaining every aspect of his plan to save the world, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the amount of thought that went into this plan. I mean, if we pull this off, we'd be getting rid of violence in a world that only knows how to survive with violence. Of course, the only way this happens is if I agree to do it. But honestly, this is the first time in my life where I actually feel like I know what I'm supposed to do. I've said before that I believe there's more to this world than fighting just to live longer. And if I do this, we might actually find out what that world looks like. Well, this was it. The plan to save the world was set, and I was on board. However, in order for the plan to succeed, there were still a couple more things needed to be done, which is why Clownpierce and I were traveling to the one civilization I haven't been to yet. The Axes are supposedly the most ruthless players in PvP Civilization. And yes, I'm aware I'm just walking right in with a sword, but apparently I'll be fine. I don't know, I'm still very much doubting that. Regardless, this is the place I need to be, because Tabby's in here, and she is a part of this plan too. At the entrance to the Axe civilization, Clownpierce and I split up to go our separate ways. He was gonna set up the last video journal needed so that the Axes would see his message. Yes, obviously I was disappointed that that wasn't my job, but I had a task of my own. I was gonna go talk to my best friend, and hopefully not die this time. My last 2 interactions with Tabby have ended with me dying, and yes, I know last time she technically saved my life, but I still died, so my point still stands. Being in the Axe civilization was crazy. Apparently Clownpierce sent me to the area of the civilization that only had wooden axes in it, so I guess I'm relatively safe here. I didn't really know what I was supposed to be looking for. Clownpierce just said that Tabby would be here. I didn't even see anyone here, to be honest, but a few seconds later, I caught the glimpse of a diamond axe standing directly in front of me. I already knew from Clownpierce that she was still alive, but well, this was the first time seeing her with my own eyes.
What are you doing here? I gave you a chance to live longer, and now you come here? Are you trying to die?
Hearing Tabby be concerned about my survival kinda made me think that I might not die for the 3rd time. It's okay, I'm not trying to die. Well, at least not now, that is. But Clown Pierce was the one who brought me here. We came here together, and right now he's... well, I actually don't know what he's doing, but he's here. And he brought me here to help you guys use the eternal weapons.
Why would Clown Pierce bring you here to help us? And why would I ever believe that you would help us get rid of your own family?
Because I know what you've been through. I know you've lost everyone you've ever cared about. And if I went through what you did, I also probably wouldn't allow myself to trust a sword. You might not believe me, but you're my best friend. And if you believe that wiping out the swords is the best way to achieve peace, then I'm gonna stick with you. I do have one request though, if you're willing. It's not that crazy. I just want to know if my guard friend's alive. I didn't expect this request to go through, to be honest, but then I realized I was standing in front of my guard friend this entire time. You've been here through this whole conversation? Sorry, man, I didn't know you became a diamond shield.
Buddy, does it look like I even had the choice to become one?
Well, you became one anyways, so congrats.
Can you just tell her to let me out?
Okay, so here's the weird part. We actually do need you to become the Eternal Shield, but I already talked with Clown Pierce, and once you get the Eternal Shield, you'll be fine. Alright, well, Tabby, thanks for letting me stay alive this time. I have to do something real quick, but I'll be back.
Wait! You know what we plan to do with the eternal weapons, so you must know that there's a chance this gets rid of you for good.
Yeah, I know. In fact, I'm counting on dying, but lately I've been thinking a lot about something. When I was a wooden sword, I thought my enemy was the one I was supposed to fight. That player gave his life for me, and now when I look back, I realize he was never my enemy to begin with. The bows, axes, and tridents all think the swords are the enemy, so maybe it just takes dying for them to realize that we're not. You know what I think? I think it's easy to fight back against your enemy, and I think it's hard to forgive your enemy, but someone who gives you their life, that's someone who's never been your enemy.
There's something we need to discuss, but before we do that, I want to apologize for not being upfront about this.
The Diamond Swords let me back into the Sword Civilization, but I still owed them a big explanation. I promised them that after I do this one last thing, I will give them the entire plan, start to finish, and everything will make sense after that. So, that brings us to the last task, which is showing Clown Pierce's message to the entire world. I was just about to send it, but then I realized there was already a journal in here, and it was from Parrot. Huh, alright, well, I guess I can afford a couple minutes to watch this.
Allow me to explain my plan. The respawn power is currently owned by you. You're the one who bought the room, but Prince Sam is proof that others can use the armor stand as long as they get access to it. And obviously that makes dying something risky for you, who shouldn't be worried about dying. Stopping other people from getting access to the armor stand is necessary to protect you, which is where the information I learned comes in. You can only close your door from the inside, so anytime you leave to rank up, any player has the time to steal the power for themselves. However, according to the shield, your door closes 30 seconds after you rank up to become a stone sword. Knowing this, the diamond swords can use this information to protect you every time you respawn. If the diamond swords teleport back to the wooden sword level every time they anticipate you dying, they can guard the door until it closes, and no one will be able to steal the power. All it takes is 30 seconds of waiting, and the respawn power will be guarded from anyone on the outside. Going through this routine might give you all an opening to get rid of Prince Sam's respawn ability as well, which is necessary to make this plan effective. If this plan is done right, the swords might just have the strength to outlast whatever comes next with the eternal weapons.
I'm not gonna lie, seeing a video journal message from Parrot always gets me a little nervous. I mean, before this one, he was like 2 for 2 for sharing the worst messages possible. However, this message, I was not expecting at all. I will say, Clown Pierce and I already have the plan laid out to save the world, but honestly, Parrot's idea changes the entire game. His idea might have just been the missing piece that will tie this whole thing together and make this work. Alright, it's time to send the message. Once I send this, the bows will see it, the tridents will see it, and the axes will see it. And after that, well, it's just me against the whole world. Alright, let's do it.